If you desire to adopt a newborn baby and you've been researching for a while, you may be wondering, how difficult is it to adopt a newborn baby in the United States? That's a great question, and that's what I'm gonna talk about in this video. If you're excited about that, like this video and subscribe for new videos every single week. And if you're new here, I want you to know that this is the place to be if you desire to grow your family through adoption and you wanna be the best adoptive parent that you can be. This is something that I've helped hundreds of families with as an adoption lawyer. So if you're serious about not just adopting, but being the best adoptive parent that you can be, there's a link below that you can click on right now to fill out an application to speak with somebody on my team, and we can talk with you about your next adoption steps that you can take right now, and we can also guide you and see if you are fit for us to walk with you through the entire adoption process from A to Z. Okay, so if that's you, and again, you're serious about growing your family through adoption this year, then make sure to click the link below and fill out the application. So how difficult is it to adopt a baby in the US? Well, I want to answer this question looking at two different lenses or perspectives, okay? The first lens that I'm going to look at is the information that you get from adoption professionals. And the second lens I'm going to look at is the information you get from adoption statistics, okay? So let's look at the very first lens, which is the information that you'll hear from adoption professionals. So if an adoption professional tells you that you have to wait 2 or 3 years or so before maybe you can get matched with a pregnant mom, it's really good to know, like, why do you have to wait so long? There are two answers to that, two possible answers. First one is the adoption professional is just not working with enough pregnant moms to guarantee you anything. The second answer to that could be, maybe the adoption professional is working with a lot of pregnant moms. You don't know until you ask. It could be that your profile is being shown to different pregnant moms, but you're not being chosen. So from this lens of the information that you can get from adoption professionals, how difficult is it to adopt a baby in the US? It is extremely difficult. The reason why from this lens it's very difficult to adopt a baby is because you are at the mercy of that adoption professional. If you work with an agency, they're working to help you match with a birth mom, and you're just kind of sitting back letting them do the work. So if they don't do the work on your behalf, you're just kind of stuck waiting for them to do it for you. If you're working with a consultant, same thing. The consultants will work with you. They'll show your profiles with different agencies, but you're still back in that same scenario of you're working with somebody and they're working for you. When you're working with an adoption lawyer, it's the same thing, right? You have to let the professional do the work for you. Maybe you've already talked to an agency. If you have, let me know in the comments below what they've told you. Now let's look at a completely different lens, okay? Let's answer this question through a different perspective, which is the information that we get from adoption statistics. Okay, now in this video right here, I talked about the report from the National Council for Adoption, and they put together a report to tell us the adoption statistics of 2019 and also how COVID impacted those numbers in 2020. I know that it seems really boring, like physics or something. It's still a really, really important way for you to kind of gauge what's going on in the United States nationwide and even in your state. And also it helps you to have a better perspective and also better expectations about adoptions in general. So when you look at that report, it actually showed that in 2019, there were over 49,000 private domestic adoptions all across the United States. Okay, that's a lot of adoptions. But the crazy thing, the shocking thing I would say with when you see private domestic adoption, you may automatically think that this is all newborn adoption, but it's not. So that does not mean that there were over 49,000 newborn adoptions. It means that there were over 49,000 private domestic adoptions, which includes step-parent adoptions, relative adoptions, any other type of adoptions that were done that were not foster care adoptions are included in that number. So over 48% of that number, of the 49,000, was actually step-parent adoptions, which actually dwindles the number all the way down to 19,000 or something. So really in 2019, there were 20,000, 19,000 private domestic adoptions that don't include step-parent adoptions. It's really difficult to have a specific number of newborn adoptions just because for so long, the domestic newborn adoption industry specifically has not been monitored. So there's not really a way for you to tell unless you go to the courthouse and you try to get a list of all of the finalized domestic newborn adoptions. It's just really hard to get that specific number. So also in 2020, the number of private domestic adoptions went down like 24%, okay? So we went from like over 49,000 to over 39,000. That's a big drop. And again, that number includes step-parent adoptions, and about half of that number, half of the 39,000 number, was all step-parent adoptions, which dwindles the number of newborn adoptions even down more. So from the lens of adoption statistics, when you're asking that question, how difficult is it to adopt a baby in the United States? The answer to that would be, it could be difficult, it could not be difficult. You can't really answer that question because we don't really have a number of newborn adoptions. So we can't tell you there were this many number of newborn adoptions in 2022. There were this number of newborn adoptions in 2021. So you can actually have an idea of like, okay, nationwide, how many pregnant moms are actually really going through, moving forward with placing their babies for adoption. Okay, so that makes it really hard. Did you know that phrase, private domestic adoption, includes step-parent adoptions and relative adoptions too, not just newborn? Let me know in the comments below if you knew that. Also, I just want to remind you, if you are serious about adopting, you're not just thinking about it like, oh, when I graduate from college, eventually I'll do it. Oh, I just want to get more information. No, you are serious. I want to grow my family through adoption this year, and I want to make it my intention to start taking steps to actually move forward and adopt this child. I want to invite you again to click the link below to fill out the application, to see if we are fit to work together with you to walk you through the entire adoption process so that you can adopt successfully without losing time, money, or hope in the process. Okay, so make sure to, again, click that link below and apply. Now, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel to get more videos like this every week. Thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.